guys, welcome back to Geometry Dash for the 4th time of this level. I'm deeply sorry, I genuinely am, but I feel like I'm getting so much better at it that I just have to see it through the end. I just have to, I'm sorry. The last video should never have been done, because then this would never have been done, but it's being done now, and I'm still like on the Shrek subject in my brain. I should probably get off of that. That was awful, but also, like, Shrek's so good. Let's talk about other childhood films I used to freaking love. There's, what's it called? Madagascar? Freaking used to love that. Now I've sort of gone off Madagascar a bit, though. And gone more towards the Finding Nemos and the Shreks. Back then, it was sort of all the same to me. Like, yay! Fun, happy films that I love so very much. Now it's like, I'm sorry, Madagascar, but you slipped. You have slipped. I think Madagascar, though, has slowly gotten better as time's gone on. Like, each film, I think, has progressively gotten better. So I think not Shrek 3, Madagascar 3 is my favourite Madagascar film. And stuff. And things. 1 second. That was extremely close! God damn it, I hate that bit so much. But yeah, like, Madagascar 1, probably my least favourite out of them. Probably. Like, I still like the film, but the second one I still think is better, and the third one is just definitely my favourite, and the one I choose to watch, like, every goddamn time. But yeah, it's you know. There's also other films, like, I'm now just remembering loads of my childhood favourite films. Used to love Toy Story as well. Toy Story, freaking good film. Again, I think I prefer this third one to all of them. What happens in the second one? I can't remember. Oh yeah, they find Jessie and stuff. And they get rid of Mr. Pete. Is it Mr. Pete? I think it's Mr. Pete. Yeah, you find those guys. But in the first one, it's just about, like, yay, toys, happiness, and they're moving house, and stuff happens. And the third one is just, the ending of the third one is just, didn't it make a bajillion people cry on Earth? Like, more people even saw it, cried. Just because people told them how it ended. Without even seeing any film, everyone just cried. More people than people even exist on Earth. More than the 7-point-whatever billion people that are on Earth cried. That's how sad it was. I didn't. I understood why it was sad, but you're like, if you haven't seen it, just go away now, because I'm about to say, like, a massive spoiler to the end of Toy Story 3, but, oh, that was the worst. But yeah, like, they can't kill off the characters as an ending to the film. You just can't. Especially in a film like Toy Story. It just can't happen. But yeah, I think I prefer, like, Toy Story 3 over any of the others. Toy Story 2, I was gonna say maybe the one that I've seen the least, but that's actually probably massively false, especially since, like, how much I used to love watching films as a child. It's probably my favourite thing to do. I was never really a child to watch TV, I don't think. Well, I did, like, getting out of school, it was like, yay, put the TV on, watch something, and then stuff like that. But, yeah, I didn't really have games to do, so I guess TV was the only thing I really did do. Along with possibly some games with family members and stuff, but not really much of that from memory. That makes it sound really sad, but it wasn't, I can assure you. I can assure you, it was fine. 1 second. I need to focus. I need to focus my brain. Okay, that bit you gotta wait the slightest bit. You can't jump immediately. Got it. That's a bit awkward, but I can deal with that. My brain can compute that. Possibly, maybe, sort of, hopefully, slightly, maybe, kinda. Yeah. What other films were there? Because I had some in my head, and then I started thinking Toy Story. I was like, ooh, yay, Toy Story. Oh yeah, Madagascar I was on about. I, like, completely forgot to mention the amount of adult stuff that's in there as well. Like, not a ridiculous amount. Compared to, like, Shrek. In my opinion, Shrek had way more. And was sort of Like, you know, it's like, yeah, family-friendly film, and it means it's for children, but parents sort of have to watch along because they're parents. But Shrek, sort of that film is like, yeah, it's family-friendly because children just don't understand that stuff. But also the parents get a good giggle out of it as well. But the sugar honey iced tea moments in Madagascar, my brain never even processed, like, why are you saying sugar honey iced tea? My brain just didn't understand. It was really confused. Actually, that's probably a lie. I don't even think it was confused. I think it just cast it aside. Like, it said a thing, it doesn't make sense. Neither do half things I say, because I'm like a 4-year-old. But yeah, like, I didn't get it. But now I do get it, and it makes me laugh. Like, God, children are so stupid, and also completely oblivious to the things that they're literally watching. But it's also fun to see, like, how much these, like, massive film production people's, like, Disney and Pixar and stuff can get away with. It's fun to see that, in my opinion. It didn't jump again! I clicked! Come on. That's poopy pants. Yes, that's maturity. But yeah, if you don't know what sugar honey iced tea still means, just take the first letters of each one of the words. S-H-I-T. How'd you get it? Yeah. That was me when I first, like, saw a YouTube video on, like, adult stuff in films. Because I hadn't seen Madagascar in freaking years. So when I saw that, my mind exploded out of one ear. And the other ear was just left absorbing the sound of YouTube into it, as I was just shocked into being like, how did I never notice this? But also, haha, that's sneaky, but also hilarious. And yeah, like, I just thought of another film, like, I think it was the one that I thought about earlier, but completely forgot to say after a while. Ice Age! That is probably one of the earliest films I remember watching. Like, I have no idea how I'd remember the earliest one I'd be watching. It's just, like, all these films, to me, yeah, I watched it semi-early. But that's one I distinctly remember watching semi-early. And I used to freaking love that. Ice Age 2? Which one's that? Is that the Meltdown? Yeah, because Ice Age 3 is the dinosaurs. And Ice Age 4, which is probably one of the only films that I know that, like, from my childhood, that's actually got on a 4th sequel. Because we've gone over Madagascar, got a 3rd film. Shrek actually has a 4th film now that I think about it. Wow, that blows my freaking mind now. But yeah, there's Toy Story, that's the one. That also got a 3rd, but never a 4th. But they could bring a new one out, I guess. But that's not gonna happen. If they do that, my brain explodes again. And yeah, I probably won't enjoy it as much. I probably won't. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Ice Age, that film. Freaking loved it. Freaking loved it. Scrat was one of my favourite things. He was adorable. He's a little squirrel. All he does in every film. He's not even that relevant in each film. They could have gone around loads of problems that Scrat solves with completely different things in Ice Age. But they chose Scrat. He's just sort of a side character, but he makes you just smile whenever you see him. He's just lovable. And he doesn't make, like, any word. He doesn't utter a word. It's just beautiful. And, like with, what's it called? Madagascar, I think the film progressively got better as well. Like now, the first film, to me, not I say a bajillion times worse than the first, or the second, but I definitely prefer the second. They're still both very good films, like all the films I've mentioned, but I definitely prefer Thingamabobbers. Is very good. It's very good. And then the third one with the dinosaurs, I remember when we first got that on DVD from my half-sister. Yeah, shout out to my half-sister. Yeah, we got it from her for Christmas, and I'd never actually seen it, I don't think. Oh, that was really bad timing on my part. But yes, we got it for Christmas from her, and I was like extremely happy, and we watched it that day, and I was like, yes! I love this film. It's so good. So yeah, that's good memories right there. And then there's the fourth film, which I also very much like. I would probably still put it above the third. And the third one, I was gonna say up to that point was my favourite. Then you could say that about a second one as well. Like, this is my favourite. Yeah, the first one. Like, have we ever seen humans in Ice Age since the first film? Because I think they, like, in the first film, they went sort of off of realism and tried to make, like, a really deep story about it. Like, if you haven't seen Ice Age and you don't want spoilers, just go away now. That's not me being rude, by the way. That's me saying you don't want spoilers. You probably shouldn't watch this then. But also, it's Ice Age. You've probably seen it by now, like every other human on Earth. But if you haven't and you still don't want spoilers, you might want to pop out for a bit. But, like, the story of how a mammoth, like, and sloth. Like, I haven't seen this film for a while, so I'm a bit rusty on the whole story. But, like, there's a sloth, and doesn't he find the baby, or does the man find the baby? Manny and Sid, everyone knows their names. It's sort of worldwide, everyone knows their names. It's difficult not to. Yeah, like, they combine their forces to try and give the baby back to the humans. Wait, no, what happens is the saber-toothed tigers, that's it, they take the baby, and then one of them is sent to go get the baby back, but by that point, it's either Sid or Manny that find it again, and then they try and get it back to the humans. Well, Sid wants to get back to humans. Manny's like, no, I don't want to get back to humans. I just want to, like, live my life solo. And then eventually he convinces him because the tiger comes along, Diego, which is probably one of my favourite names in that film, actually. Just a random subject. Just, yeah, I like that name. This is just a nice name, a cool name in my opinion. But yeah, like, he's sent to go get it back, and he's one of the saber-toothed tigers. He doesn't get it, and, you know, he says he's trying to help as well, and he tracks the humans down to try and get it back. But actually, he's still trying to get it back, and helps the tigers throughout the entire film, and then right at the end, it's like, woofa! I'm actually gonna switch sides. I've got on a bond with these people. These, like, weird sloth and this... Oh, come on. Yeah, this sloth and that, mammoth. We're best buddies. And then they get the baby back after he goes through some pain. And then he comes back at the end. It's like, yay, happiness to everyone. But yeah, I'm back on subject. You can come back now, people who didn't want spoilers. You can come back. Don't worry. Yeah. Then you get to, like, the second film. And, like, I don't think you ever see humans again after the first film. Ever. God damn it. But yeah, then it's like that first film has a lot of meaning behind it. Like, yeah, companionship, and you can learn to love people, and you don't want to be the bad guy anymore. Yay! And whatnot. And the second film, and the third film, fourth film, since they've sort of lost that, which I'm fine with. Because as a child that I was, as much as I liked the film, and who wouldn't, it's a freaking amazing film, I sort of didn't really care about the storyline, I guess. I just cared about the characters, and them being funny, and liking them, and stuff, because who wouldn't like a green sloth? Even though, like, all sloths are green, because they have, like, moss and stuff growing on them, because sloths are weird, man. But yeah, like, the second film, it lost sort of the seriousness, and went for more, well, it still had it. It still had it, because the meltdown, like, the massive wall of ice is breaking because of all the water behind it, everything's melting. Oh, drama. And stuff happens. And then he gets Manny gets a girlfriend midway through, and doesn't think he's a girlfriend. Then he ends up being a girlfriend. I somehow have to jump over those 2 blocks as a tiny dude. That blows my mind. Because I held the jump button the entire time. It didn't touch the edge. It just leapt straight over. Yeah, like, he ends up getting a girlfriend, and we meet Crash and Eddie, and, you know, they're just fun characters. They're awesome. The third film, then threw away realism. It was like, you know what would be a great idea for the sequel? Dinosaurs. You just go down this secret tunnel thing, and you gotta climb across some dinosaur bones, and then dinosaurs. Just dinosaurs that have lived beneath all you guys this entire time. Then you meet Buck. And don't you find Buck again in the most recent film? Doesn't this one like involve aliens? I haven't seen this one now. Think about it. It's a 5th film. Oh my god. Yeah, I haven't seen this one. Don't you find Buck again? Kind of, maybe, sort of. And this is what I mean by the realism going away. But in the first film, I guess it might be a throwback since you do see a frozen UFO. Now think about it. You see loads of skeletons, and at one point, there's just like a little bit of a freeze frame of Sid just looking at a frozen UFO. He's like, huh, that's a thing. But yeah, stuffs. It's good. And then the 4th film, just everything is dying. The world is just coming to an end, but it doesn't come to an end. They all reunite. Oh, happiness. And for some reason, pirates that are monkeys and like weird walrus things, I guess. I just realised I've been talking about my childhood films for like the past 20 minutes across episodes. But I'm completely okay with that because I love these films, like down to my freaking core. Ouch. Yeah, I love all the Ice Age films, but I haven't seen the other one yet, the UFO one I mentioned. Because didn't they say aliens? I think they said aliens. I believe aliens were mentioned. Okay, didn't mean to do that. It'd be great if I survived that and just went across an invisible ceiling. Just would have been the perfect thing. That was not the perfect thing. But yeah, like, I love those films. They're so good. What else was I gonna say? There was loads of other films I used to like as a child, but they seem to be films that nobody has ever heard of or seen. Like, there's some that everyone knows, like The Lady and the Tramp. That's a film that probably came out like a bajillion years before my time. But we had it. I think we had like the second one with like, wasn't it like Scamp's Adventures or something? Something to do with Scamp, which is sort of the baby of Tramp and Lady, which are the 2 dogs. That in the first film, they have that beautiful scene of a dog, or 2 dogs slurping spaghetti. You know? Everyone knows that scene. Yeah, I used to love that film as well. Because I used to love dogs, because since I've grown up with dogs my entire life. My family had a dog before me. That sounds bad, but the dog was a gift, I think. I think my dad was like, yeah, hey, wifey lady, here, do you want a dog? Let's take you to go get this dog, because I know you love dogs. Since my mum grew up with dogs. And yeah, she loves dogs. Sadly, that dog has now passed. But it was many years ago, so we're over it. Excuse me, what happened there? How did I get to the ceiling? I'm completely flustered now. What happened? How did I get to the ceiling? That makes no sense. Isn't the floor death there? That was the worst. But yeah, isn't the floor like death on that bit? So the only way to get height is to jump off that thing? Oh my god, my brain. But there's another film, going back to the films, that I liked called Brother Bear. Now, if anyone's heard of this film, please, 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 oh please, put it in the comments and say if you liked it or not. Because I freaking love that film. No matter like how deep it was, because it is deep, man. That film is a sort of film that I guess could sort of bring a tear to your eye, because the story is sad, but also loving. Just, I hate how in the second film, they seem to completely change the voice actor, and his voice just sounds pretty different. Like, no amount of puberty can make your voice change as much as his does. But goddamn, thinking about the film now, it makes me really want to watch it, as much as it is really sad. Like, spoilers if you want to, just go see it if you want to go see it. If you don't want to go see it, don't go see it. But basically the premise is, you're in sort of, not necessarily the Stone Age, but in an age where people and bears and wildlife don't get along and use spears to hit the things. And at the beginning of the film, a bear, one second. God damn it, the one time I stopped pressing the jump button. Oh well, but yeah. Basically what happens is, the beginning of the, sort of the beginning of the film, Like, this is what you sort of start in an age where there's tribes, or there's a tribe, and they have spears and they kill animals for food. They tie up some fish in a tree, a bear comes along. Well, a dude goes to his ceremony to get his thing. It's sort of like, yes, you're wise, you're loving, you've got courage, and stuff. And there's 3 brothers. One of the brothers has a totem, I think they call it, of wisdom. And the other one has... either doesn't have a thing, 'cause he's the younger brother, I can't remember. I don't think so. I think he does have his thing. Either way, I'm getting completely off topic. I'm not very good at explaining things, could you tell? I get off topic a lot. But yeah, like, stuff happens, and they go chase after the bear after the ceremony, after the dude gets his totem, which is the bear of love, and he's like, dude, that's awful. My brother has, like, a thing for fighting, and my other one has one that's for being really wise. And I have a bear of love. And then they go to the place where they try to keep the fish away from animals, which was in a tree, but one of the brothers didn't tie up very well, which is the younger brother who sort of becomes the main character. And he's like, see, bears aren't loving, they're freaking thieves. They stole our fish. And so he, because he's a kid and doesn't know any better, even though he's not really a kid, he's probably like between the ages of 18 and 20, I guess, goes after the bear for revenge, even though his elder brother, who's the wise one from his wisdom totem, is like, yeah, dude, you should know better than this. Just don't worry about it. We'll make a new basket because the basket got broken, because one of the other brothers got angsty about his basket being broken because it took him weeks. Because, you know, they didn't have sewing machines back then. It's a bit awkward to make baskets and stuff. And yeah, he goes back to kill the bears, revenge. And he ends up going without them, and they have to go find him, and they eventually find him, but he's in a bit of bother with the bear, and they get involved, and then the elder brother, just skipping ahead a little bit through the fight between the bear and the people, his eldest brother saves both of their lives, and smashes like a massive chunk of ice off of a glacier by stabbing his spear into a gap in it, and just tugging at it till it snaps and falls off of a cliff into some water. And yeah, him and the bear then fall down and it goes a bit bad. And then the brothers are like, oh no, brother dude, you're dying, no, you fell down a thing, that's not good for your health, bro. And then they go down there and they can't find him, they can just find like part of his like hooded bear skin or wolf skin clothes and such and whatnot, and find his like broken spear at the bottom. The bear gets away because bears are freaking beasts. And then at his funeral, his brother, or the younger brother again, because he still has not learned his lesson, like the next day then goes back to kill the bear again, just as revenge for killing his brother, because he blames the brother. And the middle brother's like, yeah, I don't blame the bear, bro. You are the one who went after the bear. I don't blame the bear. If you didn't go after the bear, we'd be fine. And yeah, it's very sad. Like, it sort of tugs at your heartstrings to get really attached to these characters over time. Like, they're real sweet. They're very nice characters. Like, in the beginning of the film, you see them all, like, in their little boats, going fishing and stuff, and having, like, fun and messing around. Since they're sort of early 20s, late teens sort of age. They're a bit rebellious. But they know how to have fun while they're sort of being productive, I guess. Yeah, when he goes after the bear, his middle brother's like, oh, balls, let's not let him kill that bear. And then, also, here's a big part of the film I haven't mentioned yet. There's a shaman woman in the village, and she's like, yeah, when you die, you sort of become your totem and become sort of the Northern Lights. Because they live, like, really close to Northern Lights, and that's why there's, like, loads of ice everywhere and stuff. Yeah, you sort of go up there into the Northern Lights, and you become your spirit animal sort of esque thing. And yeah. So when the brother eventually finds the bear, he's like at the top of this freaking huge mountain. And stuff happens. He does kill the bear. And then his brother... Oh, that was awful. My brain completely zoned out while I'm just saying a story. Yeah, the brother goes along. He hears a scream. And it's like, oh no, stuff is going wrong. Because at the top of the mountain, it's like a freaking storm going on at the same time because drama. And then the younger brother witnesses the bear get sort of taken away into space as it goes into the Northern Lights as a spirit. And it's all deep and stuff. And magic happens. And for some reason, waterfall comes down. And then, like, the Northern Lights explode out of the waterfall as he touches it. And yes, it sounds worse than it actually is, because it's a freaking awesome film. I love it. Might be nostalgia, but also I love the film. And, yeah. Then he sees sort of, like, the spirits of the Northern Lights spilling out. Because you basically see the colour of the Northern Lights, and you see, like, sort of faint images of animals sort of go around and stuff. And then eventually... Actually, no, the bear doesn't actually fly away now, think about it. It sort of just disappears. Because his brother comes back and looks at him like, dude, really? You shouldn't have done this. And then the brother's like, oh, hey, dude. But he doesn't say it that way. He's like, oh, my God. Hi. Except he doesn't say it like that. So he's like, he just says the name in a shocked voice. As he looks at, or the elder brother looks at him in a disappointed face. Like, dude, you shouldn't have done that. You should not have done that. And then, brother, to teach him a lesson... turns the younger brother into a bear, and that's why it's called Brother Bear. So then, when the middle brother, after like all this has ended, goes up to the top of the mountain and sees a bear and just a bunch of clothes, and you know, the bear's not going to be around the clothes from the dude that got transformed into a bear. He goes up there, sees the bear, sees the clothes, and is like, oh, dude, now the bear's killed my other brother. And then, stupidly, he then tries to get revenge for his two brothers and his basket that he loves so very dearly. Even though he doesn't actually mention that, but that just sounded mildly funny to me. And yeah, he does that thing. Goes after the bear, which is his brother at this point, so he tries to kill his brother. But instead he accidentally knocks him off the mountain, he lands... in some water and floats away and lands on a stream later on. And the shaman woman of the village finds him. Is like, hey dude, it's you, because she's mystical and magical and it's awesome. And knows that it's the younger brother. He's like, dude, you've gone through a lot of changes, bro. Your brother is freaking awesome. He's clearly teaching you a lesson for something you've done wrong. And then he's like, yeah, I didn't do anything wrong. I haven't done nothing. But she can't understand what he's saying because he's a freaking bear. He can't talk English, he talks in bear language and just goes rarg. And yeah, he then realizes he's a bear, because he hadn't realized at that point, because he hadn't actually looked down. He looked in the water and saw his reflection and was like, Jesus Christ, I'm a bear! And yeah, later on he like finds a companion, it's adorable. He finds a little baby bear. Like after he gets caught in a trap, and it's like, yes, I do not need your help, baby bear, to help me out, because the little brother's sort of not the nicest person. He's young and stupid, basically. But, yeah. He finds the baby bear. Eventually, the baby bear helps him down. Because he can't get down himself, diddums. And they sort of go on an adventure together. He's like, yeah, I'll help you out, but if you take me to this magic place where all the bears, sort of come together, like, each year. Because my mom was taking me, and we accidentally, like, got... oh, no. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, they sort of got separated, and it's like, aww, poor baby bear. And yeah, then they run away from the brother again. And whatnot. And... sorry, I'm just trying to remember this, like, the entire story. It's really awkward to say it and not see it, because I'd still recommend seeing it again. If you'd still here, because I have been reciting this for quite a while, I apologize. This could have been summed up in probably like a minute or two. Like bears, love, yay, happiness, transformations, ooh, magic. But yeah, back to story, because I'm making this a full goddamn story, damn it. But yeah, what happens is, they run away from the brother, they get away, and then they're like, he's gonna follow our tracks, and then they go in this beautiful little ride on the back of mammoths, and they sort of, because mammoths sort of migrate into a place, and they're like, sure, this will stop the tracks, and we'll just go on the back of this dude, yeah, adventures. And yeah, they eventually accidentally fall asleep. And they don't know where they are anymore. But eventually, god damn it, eventually they make it some way, and then the dude face finds them again, because, you know, they have to. He has to find them again, or it wouldn't make much sense. It'd just be like, yay, happy ending, done. Also, I didn't mention that to get out of bear form, this dude has to sort of get back to the top of the mountain, and stuff happens, and then he's like no longer a thing, and he has to sort of live as a bear. Like, I think the lesson is, you be this bear and see how hard life is as this bear. Especially to look after this baby as the mum was. Spoiler warning, eventually you find out the reason the mom, like, got, like, separated from the child is because the bear that you killed earlier is his mom. It's the biggest plot twist, next to a bigger plot twist, I don't know. But that bit, when you first realize that, your mind explodes and is so sad. That is the saddest moment of that film, along with the brother dying. But the moment, like, when you eventually do this, or, like, I'm just gonna skip ahead quite a way, because, you know, nothing super integral to the story happens this period, I don't believe. But yeah, like I said, he does that thing, and he eventually is like, oh wait, what happens is, like, they find the place where they get into, where all the bears go, and they are in this circle, eventually telling stories because they're bears, and what else the bears got to do? They're in their favourite place where loads of salmon goes, and they like salmon. It's the same kind of fish they caught earlier in the film, incidentally. And that's why the bear wanted to steal the fish, to feed the baby, feed the baby. Jesus Christ, don't feel the baby. Yeah, they do that thing, tell stories, and then the baby bear says the story about how he lost his mom, and, like, how the cliff fell down, because he was apparently watching it all, and then he never saw his mom after that point. And then the dude, who is the bear now, but also ended up being the dude that killed the bear in the first place, he's like, oh, Jesus Christ, I have made a horrible mistake, and feels really bad about himself. And then eventually, he wanders off. The baby bear, I think, finds him, or he goes out and finds the baby bear. I can't quite remember. And he then tells the baby bear the story, and then the baby bear's like, no, and starts crying, and it's, like, really emotional. And he's like, I didn't mean it, dude. I love you like a brother now. Like, we've gotten so close over time. And it's, like, really adorable, but the baby bear's, like, mortified and doesn't really know what to do, and runs off alone into the snow. And by the way, I'm just gonna be quiet for a second, because I'm gonna suck at this bit. Yep. What did I expect? What did I expect? But yeah, he does a thing, and eventually you catch up with this dude. Wait, no, you don't. The brother comes back again. He comes back a couple of times in between, I think I've forgotten about, but that's not super important. But what is important is that eventually you find him again, he's about to kill him, then the baby bear comes back and is like, yay, I love you, you're so nice, but also you killed my mom, so screw you in the face. But he's a baby bear, and he's alone now, so he needs him to sort of look after him now. Since he looked after him for quite a few days by this point, they've sort of grown a really good bond. And yeah, he saves him from the man. They eventually get to the top of the mountain, since I think at this point he loses the baby bear and ends up trying to get to the top of the mountain to try and fix things. And on the way to the top of the mountain, the dude comes along, then the baby bear saves him, he's like, yeah, you're saving your life. And then the dude goes after the baby bear, like, dude, you're not stopping me from doing this. Also, no! I didn't know what to do. My brain was like, ah! Oh, god damn it, that was so good though. Oh, that was going so well. Oh, my heart has dropped. But yeah, anyways, he goes after the baby bear, and he doesn't get to the baby bear, and stuff happens. Eventually, as he saves him from the baby bear, big bear that is actually the man who killed the mama bear. Sorry, this is getting really, really confusing. It's probably been confusing for a while. But yeah, he saves the baby bear, as I said, probably a million times. And then, as the brother is about to kill the big bear, the big brother, who died, comes back because he's at the top of the mountain again. He's like, dude, nope. And just completely cock-blocks him. And makes it so, you know, no more deaths occur. And he's like, whoa, bruh. And he eventually shows that... One second. I'm sorry. Damn it. Slightly early. My bad. Yeah, he shows him... He turns him back into a human. He's like, dude, it's your brother. And he's like, oh my sweet suffering Christ. I've been trying to kill you the whole time. And he's like, yeah, stuff happens. Then they hug it out. The dude goes back to the baby bear, who's just sort of hiding in the corner, and is like, it's okay, little dude, it's me, but I was a human this whole time. I apologize for killing your mom and all that. And then he looks back to his brother and is like, dude, this baby bear, he's all alone now. He sort of needs me. And then the eldest brother's like, fair enough, I know what to do then. And turns back into a bear, and then he wants to live as a bear. So it's sort of a weird sounding ending. It sounds really stupid, but if you watch the film, it's really deep and amazing, and I love that film, like, so much, and it's amazing. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, he becomes a bear again, and then his brother makes a joke like, yeah, I think you look better as a bear. And then he gets pushed over by his brother, who is a bear, jokingly like, God damn you, you cheeky son of a gun. And then they play on top of the mountain, and then I think the credits roll. It's just like, oh, it's so adorable. So basically, in the end of the day, the mama bear gets killed. You find the baby bear after you get turned into a bear. Eventually, you find out that you killed its mom. You tell him. He gets really sad and runs off, terrified, and doesn't know what to do with life. He eventually comes to his senses, comes back to you, which probably isn't the smartest idea, but he realizes his mistake in the end of the day. Like the dude. And the baby bear went up to him and was like, I love you still, bro. You're amazing, I love you. So they get really close during the film. Like, it's just so cute. I'm sorry, I just can't help but express how much I love this film. Yeah, that's basically it, really. But in the end, you find out that the baby bear's mom was killed by the dude who ends up looking after the baby bear. So it sounds really bad, but by the end of it, you sort of have sympathy, which is weird. But it happens, man. It happens. So that's a thing. But yes, I think that's the end of my story, and it only took me about half an hour. It could have been so much longer. No, never again. I'm so bad at stories, you can tell, it just takes me forever to save them. Like, that is a story. I probably just saved you, maybe... Oh, I didn't quite jump. I probably just saved you for 50 minutes, maybe like an hour of a film. Of a 1.5 hour film. Which I think it is. Like, isn't 1.5 hours like the average duration of a proper film? That seems to be it. But yeah, in the second film, it's not quite as deep in my opinion, but there's still like some like awe to it. But at the same time, it's like, excuse me, why have you changed the voice actor? Like, if it's the same voice actor, that blows my freaking mind, and I'm confused because his voice changes so much. It sounds nothing like him, nothing at all, and that makes me mildly sad. When I first saw it, I was like, wait a second, is the like sound botched on this? But nope, he's just got a slightly different voice. By slightly, I mean completely different. If you played the two voices like one after the other, I would not be able to tell they were the same person. Genuinely. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little monologue. Now I've saved you money on buying that film, unless you still want to, and I would very much like recommend it. Non-sponsor, since that film is probably like really old. It either came out like early 2000s or 1990 something, in my opinion. How does that happen? How do I keep having that happen, where I fly into the ceiling? That makes no sense. The floor is death, I've seen now. I made sure that time to look at the floor and be like, yeah, that's definitely death. How am I not, like, making that? But yeah, that film, it tugs at your heartstrings. Not so much when you're, like, probably really extremely young when you watch it. But when you see it when you're older, it's like, Jesus Christ, that is deep. But I love it. It's so good. It's so good. You get so attached to the characters as well. Not necessarily the mama bear. You never actually get to hear her speak. Actually, you do at one point. There's one point where you get to hear what she sounds like, and that's sort of when either the baby bear or the guy that killed the mama bear sort of thinks back on what's happened previously. You know? But you only hear her say, like, the baby bear's name and nothing else. That's all the voice acting she gets. That was the worst place to die. Literally the worst. Genuinely the worst. Yeah, that goes over some of my favourite films. Should I keep talking about films? I don't know. I have the weirdest taste in films. Like, Disney, it's pretty good. Don't even start on me like, oh, Disney, it's for babies. No, Disney is fun for all the family. Disney is good fun. Disney is great fun. But yeah, like, now my, like, taste in films is just completely off. It's like Disney, nostalgic Disney, and a lot of disaster films, or films with just generic sad endings. Probably one of my favourite films ever. I would have never watched if it wasn't for my neighbour, who showed it to me, or like, he found it and then, or watched it and was like, that's a freaking good film. And then he found it on DVD and was like, hey, you need to watch this. And I was like, okay, we'll watch this. And then, it's a very long film, by the way. But it's called 2012. God, I can't speak. And you've probably maybe heard of it. I hadn't at the time. Then when I watched it, I was like, Jesus Christ, that is one of the most morbid, not I say morbid, one of the most depressing, yet amazing films I have ever seen. There's a few moments in it. There's a few where it's just like, come on. But there's a lot of it where it's just like, that's awesome, but also sad. I'm not going to spoil much of it for you. Just know it's a disaster film and the end of the world is coming. That's all you need to know about it. Just solar flares and such, I think it's solar flares at least, from the sun cause the Earth's crust to start shifting, and then everything goes bad. Everything goes bad. I'll just say that about it. But that is a freaking good film, man. I love that film. As much as it is extremely sad, so I wouldn't recommend watching it if you don't like sad films. But personally, I really like sad films. I don't know what it is about it. But honestly, there's not many films I've watched that I've said, I don't really like it. I'm the kind of person that likes most films, but the ones that I love tend to be disaster films. Which doesn't sound too good. It does not sound too good at all. Like, yeah, I like watching mass death on films. Or in films. Not real deaths, that'd be too much. But mass death, it definitely occurs. Since, you know, the world's ending. Sort of the entire premise of that film. He also recommended that I watch Armageddon, another film that I kinda liked, but there was points where I was just like, 2012 is still my go-to disaster film. Like, if I'm to watch a disaster film, or recommend a disaster film, 2012 is my favourite. Armageddon, I enjoyed it, but I'd give it like a 6, but I'd give 2012 probably a 10. Like, now I just really want to go watch it. Like, it's not the perfect film, so it shouldn't really be given a 10, but it's close enough to a 10. It's probably like a 9.6. So it's close enough to a 10 for me to be like, yeah, it's a 10. It's above 9.5, so it's a freaking 10. It's so good. But yeah, that's my taste in films. Also, Gremlins. Gremlins is also a very good film. A film I probably watched way before I should have. Like, I think the first time I watched Gremlins, which I think is a 15 or a 16. I first watched it probably, but like under the age of 10, but it wasn't scary for me. I just sort of laughed along. as much as it's probably supposed to be scary. Didn't that come out like 1989 or something? I'm just waiting the next film to come out, because apparently Warner Brothers is writing the script. So I'm freaking pumped. If that comes down, if that drops, I'm seeing that in the freaking cinema. I don't care if it's like goes back to its scary roots, because the first film, it's sort of a bit of comedy mixed with some scares and jump scares and stuff, like, ooh, a thing jumps out at you. It's basically a story about a little creature that if water goes on it, it sort of has babies. Water creates it to have babies and multiply, and if it eats after midnight, I assume between midnight and ... time, it will metamorphosize overnight and become this horrific looking creature that will mess you up and just wants to cause mayhem. There's just one good one left in the world, and then it goes, he be someone's pet, and then he accidentally gets water on it, and it goes wrong. And it's meant to be kind of scary, and it kind of is in a way, like, especially, like, if you see it, it's like, Jesus Christ, how did you watch this at that age? What were you, made of freaking steel? Evidently I was. Completely forgot to do that, my bad. But yeah, like, the second film goes slightly further away from the whole scary thing. There's a few jump scares, but it's not on the level of the first film, even slightly. Like, the first one's set at Christmas, so it's like, yay, joy, and things go wrong a lot, and there's some deaths in it, which is kind of where I assume it'd be a 15, in a way. But the second one is sort of focuses more on comedy, and that's why the second one is my favourite. The second one is just so much better, in my opinion. Like, the first one I still like. It's still a film I would watch if someone said, hey, do you want to go watch this film? I'd say, sure, I like that film. But the second one, it captures the comedy so well. I just love the second film. It's so good. It's so good. What other films do I like? This is just an episode where it's sort of a podcast about me monologuing about films I like. So I'm going to stick it to that theme and keep talking about my favourite films, while I somehow do semi-okay in the background to play the game, which is really confusing me. Like, occasionally while I've been talking, my brain's going, hey, you know, like, you're still playing this game, right? And you're not actually doing all that awfully. I've made it to that end section a few times, and even while monologuing, I made it further than I've ever made it before, by like 10%, which is not that bad. That's not so bad. I can dig that. Yeah, anyways, what other films do I like? I also kind of liked Avatar. Like, Avatar was sort of like, it wasn't necessarily amazingly received, I don't think. Like, I think it was, but like, it was sort of a love it or you hate it. I honestly loved it. Like, the ending of that film is just so badass. It's just, I love that film. Avatar is a good film. Just, the only problem I have with it is when, like, is his name Sarge or something? Can't remember his, like, proper name. It might just be a sergeant, it's called Sarge, but still. His death face at the end, spoiler warning if you haven't seen the film, but seriously, these are old films I'm talking about. I have not really named any recent films, like, within the past, like, maybe 5 years. So you should be okay. But yeah, that bit, when he dies, it's like, what is that face? What is that face? That's one of the only parts of the film just makes me think, huh? What? What was going through your brain when you thought, yes, that is the take I want to keep, because that face, like, maybe that's what I want to keep because it looked funny. So I swear to you, the death face, there's nothing like it. It is laughable. Just look up the thing in the thing. That's also kind of another sort of semi-disaster film, I guess. Oh god, pardon me. But yeah, like, it's not necessarily a complete disaster, but there's a lot of deaths in it. Including ones that you get like, characters you get really attached to, and that, when I first saw the film, I was actually at an age where I could be like, damn, and not to be like, yay, I'm a child, that's funny, or, ooh, that's cool, explosions. But I was at a stage where I was like, damn, that hurts to lose a character that I like so much. That hurts. But, you know, I kind of like films where that happens. I really like those kind of plot twists, even if it is a character that I dearly love. I know a lot of people hate stuff like that. I personally kind of like it. Because it can give you, like, appreciation for characters you didn't even know you liked. Which is something that happens in... Oh, that was so close. Something happened in 2012 as well. Spoiler warning. But yeah, like... I found appreciation for a character that I didn't like for the entire film after they weren't with us anymore. Like, he wasn't necessarily the nicest guy. He was sort of a bit of a douche at the beginning. And then at the midpoint, he's sort of a little bit of a douche and a bit less of a douche, sort of. But then, like, in the final sort of half or quarter of the film, he gets nicer. You get to know him a bit more on a personal level. He's quite nice. But right at the end, that's the kicker. Well, not right at the end, but near the end is the freaking kicker. Where it just hits you right in the face with boom. He's gone. Now what do you feel about him? It's like, oh, but I know he was mean, but he was a nice guy at heart, you find out. And then it's just like, it tears your heart out and shucks it to where he gets murder killed. Anyone who's seen the film will understand what I'm saying. Anyone that hasn't, go see it. Please, I beg of you. It is a great film. And now I've, like, spoke so much about it, it might actually be my favourite film now. Possibly. I will admit, it is an extremely long film. It is like 2 hours and 15 minutes or so. It's very long. But it is so worth it. What happened there? It felt like I jumped off of one of the floaty things and somehow didn't die, and then I got completely thrown off, my brain exploded. But yeah, that's what I think about that film. It's freaking awesome. Like, I've said a lot about how the Disney nostalgia is a thing, but come on. Like, you can't really come on if you haven't seen the film, but still, 2012. Now I'm gonna say, I don't really say what my favorite film is. I always say, like, yeah, it's probably between 2012, Gremlins 2, Avatar, and I can't remember the last one. It wasn't any ones I've mentioned, meaning it's probably not up there anymore. Yeah, like, it's one of those. But now that I've sort of expressed what I feel about these films, I'm just like, damn, 2012, just, it takes the biscuit, man. It takes the biscuit. But yeah, there's also another film I like, which is, what's it called? District 9? Which is sort of like, alien spaceship sits over, like, I think it might be Washington, D.C. or something, I can't actually remember. It probably wasn't anywhere near there, but still, it was somewhere, it sits over it, people break into it, there's aliens inside, they're very malnourished, so you have to sort of, well, the government sort of speaks about it, and eventually people vote to be like, yeah, we should, like, help these things, and, like, make a little home for them here, since they don't seem to be able to go home. And then that happens. And they sort of get a little camp called District 9, where they live. They're not the nicest aliens. Sometimes they do try and kill people, and, like, tear their arms off. But they love cat food, so what's to hate about them? They love cat food. Yeah, like, the ending to that film, it's a good-ish ending, but it's kind of lazy in my opinion. And if they don't bring out a sequel, it's just like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that as an ending. You literally can't. Because, spoiler warning, leave if you want to go see the film again, blah de blah. What happens is, there's this stuff. The aliens in District 9 try and create a thing. They try and, like, they've been on the planet for 20 freaking years, and something fell off of the ship shortly after it landed, or shortly after people started to break into it. 1 second, I apologize. I'll get back to the story, I promise. I suck at that bit. And the most of this level, but still, like, yeah, they've been there for quite a while, something falls off, and then they have to sort of go through all the trash at the bottom of the thing and get this, like, goop. Because the thing that fell down was a, what's it called? a sort of escape ship thing, a escape extra ship that they use, or they could use, I assume, and they hide it and such. And some goo is around. I've never actually questioned why that's there. But yeah, the goo's there, and then they have this little thing, they have to get the goo. And over 20 years, they only just get enough goo to... Well, over 20 years, they then, when the film's on, they get enough goo to start the little ship, because it's like special ship goo that makes the ship go gooey and work again. Just call it like petrol. It's basically alien petrol. But if it like touches a human or is inhaled or consumed in any way by a human, bad things happen. Very bad things. Like, you slowly sort of become one of the aliens, sort of. And it sounds a bit weird, and it is, and it was a bit of a plot twist when I first saw it. But then I realised that's awesome for, like, the story. Also, one second again, I apologise, I'm sorry. Yep, I was mashing the clicks as fast as I humanly could and could not make that. I knew I was a little bit late, but I didn't know I was quite that late to make it, like, literally impossible. But anyways, back to the story. Yeah, they do a thing, and they have to sort of confiscate stuff that they're not allowed, because these aliens have a lot of alien weaponry and a lot of just human weaponry that people sell to them, because, you know, why not? People want the monies, they sell the aliens the things, after the aliens probably steal the monies or kill people for the monies. Damn it. Yeah, well, after that, after they confiscate a thing, a dude accidentally, while they were confiscating it, he accidentally nudged a thing, and then it sprayed over his face, and he eventually slowly starts to become one of the aliens. And then when people try and figure out why he's becoming an alien, because like the alien weaponry, here's why the people want to know why he's turning into an alien. The alien weaponry can only be controlled by aliens. It's in the biology of the aliens. It can only be controlled by them. So the humans want to be able to control it, but they can't. But when they realize that he can control it because he's part alien, they want to kill him and sort of do surgery on him to figure out how to splice human genes with alien genes to make it happen. And they really want to know how he did it. And he escapes eventually. And goes back to the alien hideout, because no one would expect him to go there at all, because who would go there? Freaking aliens, man. And then he finds an alien called Christopher for some reason, and he's the one that he took it from in the first place. And he sort of gets mad at him, but he's rational. He's not like a lot of the other aliens where if a bad thing happens to them, they all just kick off and become really rude and try and kill things. He didn't try and kill him. He was like, dude, you nicked my thing. That was like my only escape plan, to get out of here and bring another mothership to like help us escape and such. And yeah, he eventually is like, okay, we can steal it back. And the alien's like, dude, no, we can't steal that back. And the dude's like, yeah, it's in a lot of armed places, I guess. But eventually they do try and steal it back, and they do. They get in the ship, and the ship doesn't work so well. It don't work quite so well. Well, it does, but then eventually gets shot down because they really want the dude back to find out why he's going part alien. Like, they put out an entire, like, warrant against him, saying, like, yes, this dude, he tried to do the baby makeage with the aliens, and now he's becoming an alien. And doing that is illegal, because, you know, that's not racist at all towards aliens, or humans, but still. Everyone then tries to keep away from him because they think it's contagious and stuff. And people really do not want to become an alien. But yeah, eventually, they're on the ship. Some people explode the ship by firing freaking rockets at it. And it goes a bit wrong. And the alien beforehand said, like, yeah, I can turn you back, and that's why they sort of make a deal. Like, yeah, if I can get to the mothership, I can turn you back. Wow, I let go of the button. That did not work. Also, we just hit the hour mark on the video. No. I'll finish the story, then I'll end it. I'll end it after that. But yeah. They do a thing. Stuff happens. The dude face ends up getting back in the ship. Not the normal dude, the alien dude. He gets in the ship and sort of remotely activates the mothership that's like directly above them, and sort of has a tractor beam sort of thing, and it sucks the ship up, and then he gets into the ship and he goes back to his home planet and stuff, and then the film ends. It's like the human is about to be like killed at the end, because there's one dude that's really douchey for the entire thing, and it's just like, yes, guns, guns, death, kill everybody. Eventually, all the aliens basically tear him to pieces. They see that he's going for the human alien person. They're like, you know what, this guy's becoming an alien. He's alright. He's alright. And they kill the dude instead. While the other dude gets distracted and flies away. And he's like, go, dude. The dude at the bottom, he's like, go, dude. Go save your people. And then the film ends after he flies away. And it, like, goes to a scene where the other dude has completely become an alien. He's 100% alien by that point. But this is why I think that film needs a sequel, because it's begging for it. It's like, ooh, he's gone home, what's going to happen in the next one? Because you can't just end it with, okay, he left, he became an alien, scene, done, voila, molto bene, perfect. You can't leave it like that. Like, there's a cliffhanger, and then there's just plain rude. And this is in the plain rude section. Like, come on. A film cannot just be left like that. So if they don't bring out a sequel, the film loses, like... Wow, that's an obstacle. I did not know that was an obstacle. I thought that was background. But yeah, that's why that film, in my opinion, it's just begging for a sequel. Because it's currently on my list, it's probably an 8. Probably an 8. It's not perfect. There are some moments where I'm like, no. Including the ending. If they bring out a sequel, and it's good, the story of the first one probably will go up in my books. But if they don't bring out a sequel, the first one will go down in my books. You know? So it'll go from like an 8 to maybe a 6 of... That's the... Well, not the worst. One of the worst endings I've ever seen. So I have actually seen a film where the ending is, it was all a dream. And that was a moment of sweet baby Jesus, why? Admittedly, the entire film was really awful. So I kind of expected it. But still, like, it was bad. The film was bad. The ending was bad. The film, like, the editing in the film was bad. There was some, like, the film was animated, but the fire, there's a bit of the film where there's some fire on the screen. And it just looked like someone had copied and pasted, like, a gif of some fire onto the screen. It was, like, perfect. It didn't fit the tone of the film at all. It was just, ugh. That film was so bad. And then, like I said, the ending was, yeah, like, a thing happens, and then she ends up waking up again, and it's like, hey, it was all a dream. And she was like, but it felt so real. And I was like, oh, really? It was a film, but I wanted to sort of do a red hot knife challenge with it. Along with a hydraulic press, but without doing it flat. Like holding it vertically and then crushing it. And then keep doing that until it is powder. The film was such a disappointment. I didn't expect it to be good. It's just a film that my mum was like, yeah, we're in the supermarket, let's just buy this film, it might be okay, it's Halloween. It was not good. It was so bad. Yeah. I'm now saying this, final attempt right here. So let's try and make it a good one. I'm not going to, well, I'm going to try at least, but I'm probably not going to make it, but still. let's give it a shot. We made this section, so I count this as a valid attempt, at least. Okay, we've made this section. Good. That's genuinely good. Okay. That bit, I did clip up a little bit there, so I was a bit low, but I got lucky. Thank you, game. Go! Freaking go! No! 90% right at the end. I jumped what I shouldn't have done. Ah, it hurts. Oh, but that's a good stretch though. This video has gone on far too long with me ranting about films that I love and also despise. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you're still enjoying the series. I apologize for this one. It was a bit of a mess of me just being like, yeah, films, blah, 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 blah. I sort of went off the last episode and then sort of got really into it and was like, yeah, I like this subject. This is a subject I'm going to get down with. And then I got a bit over the top. But oh well. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy the series. I don't know if I'll give this another attempt, but either way, like I said, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya!